What's up, guys? I'm Tris. In this video, we address the question of why Russian President Vladimir Putin has not been arrested, despite the issuance of an arrest warrant by the International Criminal Court, through examples of previous ICC arrest warrants. We highlight the challenges in enforcing such warrants, despite the low chances of Putin's arrest based on the ICC warrant. We emphasize the potential implications and limitation it poses on his international action. It is crucial for the international community to remain engaged and hold those responsible for the war accountable. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to show some love by hitting that like button. Now, let's move on to Chapter 1. Chapter 1: President Putin and the ICC arrest warrant. In February 2022, Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine, followed by the announcement of the annexation of 4 southeastern Ukrainian provinces in September. Russia claimed that a majority supported the annexation through a referendum, but concerns were raised about the fairness of the voting process. Reports emerged of armed Russian soldiers visiting homes and making people vote a certain way by force, sparking international condemnation and calls for evacuation. Ukraine has fiercely resisted this Russian aggression, resulting in significant loss of life and widespread devastation. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine has been ongoing for over a year now. In March of this year, the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, the war continued unabated. So what does this arrest warrant from the ICC entail? And will Putin be arrested as a result? If you have any insights about the implications of Putin's arrest warrant, we'd love to hear them. Please share them in the comments below. Chapter 2: The ICC and arrest warrants. The ICC, also known as the International Criminal Court, is an international tribunal based in The Hague, Netherlands. It serves as a court of law jointly operated by countries worldwide, with the goal of prosecuting individuals responsible for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. It currently has 123 member countries and stands as a symbol of global cooperation and justice. However, it's important to note that the ICC doesn't handle all global crimes. It respects the sovereignty of individual countries and only intervenes when a country is unable or unwilling to appropriately address serious crimes. The ICC collaborates with member countries, sharing information and conducting investigations through cooperation with law enforcement agencies. Chapter 3: Examples of ICC arrest warrants. To better understand how the ICC operates, let's take a look at 2 examples of arrest warrants issued by the court. The first example involves Joseph Kony, a Ugandan rebel leader known for his terrorist activities in the 1980s and 90s. Kony led the Lord's Resistance Army, which rebelled against the Ugandan government, committing horrific crimes such as forced child soldier recruitment, sexual violence, and civilian massacres. Although arrest warrants were issued for Kony and his officers in 2005, their apprehension has not yet been achieved. The second example relates to the conflict in Sudan's Darfur region since 2003. The conflict witnessed genocide, sexual crimes, and torture committed by government forces and militias. The ICC issued an arrest warrant for Sudan's then-president, Omar al-Bashir, in 2009, making him the first sitting president to face such charges. However, Bashir managed to evade arrest for a decade before being ousted in a military coup in 2019. Sudanese authorities have since announced their intention to hand him over to the ICC. Chapter 4: The ICC arrest warrant for Putin. Now, let's explore the specific charges outlined in the ICC's arrest warrant for President Putin. The warrant alleges that Russia has illegally deported over 16,000 local children from the occupied territories in Ukraine. Reports from the Yale Institute for Humanities indicate that these children have been sent to Russia, with evidence suggesting that some have been subjected to Russia-friendly education and military training. The ICC's arrest warrant is based on such evidence, including testimonies from children who have returned to Ukraine. It's essential to recognize that Russia admits to deporting these children, but claims it's a humanitarian act to protect them from the dangers of war. However, the evidence suggests a different story, raising concerns about the motives behind these deportations. Furthermore, numerous other damages have occurred during the Russian invasion, including civilian deaths, violence against prisoners of war, and the destruction of civilian homes, all under the direction of President Putin. Chapter 5. Challenges and implications. As it stands, the chances of President Putin being arrested based on the ICC arrest warrant are considered very low. The ICC trial would be held in The Hague, Netherlands. But if the suspect doesn't appear, the trial becomes null and void. Additionally, since Russia is not a member of the ICC, the court lacks the means to detain leaders from non-member countries. Russian officials have also voiced their non-recognition of the ICC's jurisdiction and dismiss the arrest warrant's legal significance. It's worth noting that influential countries like Russia, China, the United States, and India remain non-members of the ICC. Consequently, the arrest warrant's effect is primarily formal. However, the arrest warrant can still isolate Putin internationally and limit his actions when traveling. If Putin enters a country that is an ICC member, that country is obliged to cooperate in his arrest. Already, Armenia has warned Russia against Putin's visit, citing the potential for arrest due to the ICC arrest warrant. Chapter 6. The future implication. As we discussed earlier, the immediate arrest of President Putin, based on the ICC arrest warrant, is unlikely. However, the long-term implications of this warrant should not be underestimated. While Russia dismisses the legal significance of the warrant and claims non-recognition of the ICC's jurisdiction, it still carries weight on the international stage. The arrest warrant isolates Putin internationally. If he were to travel to a country that is an ICC member, there is a real possibility of his arrest and detention. This creates a significant constraint on Putin's actions and limits his ability to freely engage with the global community. The fear of potential arrest acts as a deterrent, ensuring that he must carefully consider his travel plans and avoid countries where the ICC warrant could be enforced. It's crucial to note that the arrest warrant has sparked debates and discussions in countries that maintain close ties with Russia. South Africa, for example, has been hosting a BRICS summit, and there are concerns about Putin's potential attendance. As a member of the ICC, South Africa would be obligated to cooperate with an arrest warrant. This situation puts the South African government in a delicate position, balancing its relationship with Russia and its obligations under international law. In conclusion, while the immediate arrest of President Putin may not be feasible, the ICC arrest warrant carries long-term implications. It limits Putin's scope of action, isolates him internationally, and undermines his authority. The warrant also signifies increased international pressure on Russia and highlights the need for accountability for the war and its consequences in Ukraine. The future may bring changes as the international community remains vigilant and pursues justice, hoping to create a more just and peaceful world. That concludes today's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.